Hello and welcome to downtown Puebla, Mexico. Today we're headed to go out to La Malinche, which is a mountain just outside the city. It's pretty big. It goes up to 4,000 meters, and yeah, I always love doing this route because it's sandy, big climbs, pretty good speed. Not super technical riding, but you gotta commit, and I love that kind of stuff. As for right now, it's pretty early in the morning. Alexander was like, "Hey, let's meet up at what was it? I think it was 6:45 or 6:40 or something like that." It was freaking early, and it's a half an hour ride to the meet spot from my house. So I'm like groggy. I'm not really in the mood to talk, so I'm doing a voiceover right now to kind of fill in the blanks. And super speed. Okay, so we're just gonna fast forward through all this cool stuff. Now, if you do want to see more of like the Mexico stuff, let me know. I don't ride in the city very often, and there are some really beautiful things in the city. I'm excited to go over this bridge, and you can see La Malinche. Yeah, pointing at it. I'm trying to, anyways. It's so big. It's off in the distance. All right, so we're pulling up freaking confusing roads. Don't know what to do. Google's like saying, turn to the right, and then turn across all the lanes of traffic to the right. There it is. It's actually a really cool stadium because you can see the sun through it. It's like shining through it. I don't know if it's made of plastic or glass or whatever, but it looks really cool. Okay, skip ahead like a good 40 minutes. Freaking dude was on his way to the meetup spot. His rear tire went flat, and yeah, so I don't think it's a pinch, but because it's a really slow leak, he's running tubes, so you know that's fun. So at this point, my bike's running weird, and all I know is I gotta follow him, who's riding like a crazy man, because we're gonna go meet up with the third member of our party for this freaking quest. And I don't really know where we're going. I'm just following him. My phone's telling me all kinds of stuff. My bike eventually does clear up. It's just probably a spark plug getting a little greasy. So yeah, not great, but whatever. I'll go ahead and fast forward to when we meet up with the new guy, third party member. New party member unlocked, and roll up. Say hello. Got the XR 190. I've never ridden one of these bikes, but they look really good. And officially, you speak more sign language on a motorcycle than you do actual language, which is perfect for me because I barely speak Spanish. So here we are. Right now, we're looking for a tire repair, a tube, not tire. This tire's fine. A tube repair place for him. Which is actually super common here. So yeah, you'll see us go to I think 3 different ones, all in the same general area, and I'll go ahead and fast forward because, like I said before, there's roads everywhere. Eventually, this is number 2. Nah, they're okay, not good. We do eventually find some older guy who's awake because it's still really early in the morning. Anyways, I fast forwarded. I skipped ahead to when we actually get off the road. These are still roads, but yeah, this is kind of peak countryside in my opinion. It's right now is just starting to get into wet season. Everything's turning green. It's beautiful. I don't know which way we're going, right or left. I'm kind of in for the ride. He's the leader, and that's typically how it goes with these rides with me. So every time I'm on a group ride and we need to stop because group rides stop often, I just goof around like this. It's not. Maybe I wouldn't if I could speak the same language really well, but like I can, but not really, like there's intricacies that I miss. But I spend these like down times. I'm like, I'm just going to practice wheelies. I'm going to practice step ups, whatever there's around, I'm going to do, maybe static balance. And it's something I do. I don't know. It's just a way to say, it's all good. We're stopped. I'm just going to keep putting the practice in. Eventually we figure out where we're going and we're off again. Not without roosting the guy behind me just for fun. A lot of the times we're going out and we don't actually know, like, they know where the general thing that they want to do, but they don't know exactly, like, okay, I've done this 16 times and this is how I'm going to do it. It's very different than in the United States, where in the US we know the route that we're going to, and we generally we know exactly where it starts, and we know exactly, okay, we got to get back to the truck, because usually we truck our bikes. Here we just get on our bikes at our house, we ride up to a meet spot, and we go. I've seen it in Europe like that before. It's probably something you can do in the US, but not a lot of people are riding on bikes that are legal on the road. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm confident that I am. But anyways, we're not really going to a route. There's no trailhead. It's just a place that we're going to, and that's the big difference, I think. So how you get there, it really doesn't matter. Try and find the most fun possible way to get to where you're going, and then once you get to the vague area, have fun when you get there. So that's basically what we're doing. Such a cool experience to be like just flying down these roads. You can see, so you know you're safe, you're good, you can have some speed, and then you realize that like this mountain is in the background and it's just so big. I don't know, it's just an amazing place. So I'll spare you the bad Spanish here on my part, but he's asking me to demonstrate body position, like attack position, and I don't have really the skills in the language to truly properly explain it. And really, body position is a really complex situation, a really complex thing to explain, because it differs depending on whether you're accelerating, whether you're braking, cornering. But there's a standard go-to attack position, which everyone has access to the internet. You should all know it. But it does seem like the majority of people, they experience the world through their head, and they forget that their hips exist and that their knees exist. And this is something that is very difficult to correct at a later age in your life. And all of us in this group are in our 30s. So it takes a lot of work. But the beginner rider is always going to sit down on the dirt bike every single time. And that's like the worst possible thing you could do in literally any situation on a dirt bike. So I always try to get people to get up off the seat, because it puts the weight on the pegs and puts the weight down low, gives you more control. But there's a lot more going on than just putting your head forward. So shorten it up. You want to have your hips back, your elbows bent and up into a square. It's very uncomfortable and weird at first, and you should be able to read your number plate with your head. So you kind of make like a bent L on your bike. And the reason for that is it just gives you good suspension and allows the bike to move around without throwing you around. So I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it to them in a language that I am learning, but very poorly. But, I speak Moto. I don't speak Spanish. Yeah. And eventually he does try it. He's very new, I can tell, and that's okay. Everybody has to start somewhere. But he does get back to sitting eventually, because the more tired you get, the more likely you are to sit down. Okay, that's enough rambling. I'm going to go ahead and skip to something more interesting, I guess. I don't think you really need a translation. We got one guy heckling the other guy to go through it, and he's rightfully nervous, because you don't know if there's going to be a giant hole in there or something. It could be a ditch. You really don't know. Like, obviously, to somebody from the USA, a lot of the times it's a road. Of course, it's going to be a road in there. It's just a puddle. It's all good. Not necessarily the case here. This is another cool spot, and I really wish I would have stopped and recorded more. But whenever I'm in a group situation, I feel like obligated to continue the fluidity of the group movement. I really wish I would have stopped and taken some pictures. So this is like an old house. I have no idea how old. I'm not an archaeologist, but it's really cool. And yeah, like I said, I really truly wish that I would just been like, hold up, guys, I want to get some pictures and do some stuff in there, because it's so cool. And it is at this point, right about now, that I actually realized what the objective goal is for this ride. I thought it was La Malinche. I thought that was what we were going to do. I thought we were going for the mountain climb, and that's what I based my whole day on. But I realized, no, it's about the rivers that are at the base of the mountain, and those are really good. These are great routes. And I'm like, oh, okay, objective understood. Let's do this. So it's all about dry rivers for today, and yeah, I just switched gears. All good. Okay. I'm pretty sure I get it. I don't need to understand every word of that interaction to know he's saying, bro, we're gonna go, and I want you to just blast by us. Okay, in less words, I get you. So the more experience you get on the dirt bike, then obviously you're going to get some speed. And you're still going to ride in groups with people that are new, and you're going to have different levels. One of the things I can say to keep group rides interesting as you start to get faster and technically better, because you've put in 200 hours that year, so whatever, you're good. My suggestion to you to make group rides more interesting is use them as opportunities to understand how traffic works. Because in race conditions and race situations, you're going to have multiple groups going at once. Because I don't race motocross, I race where there's going to be experts on the route that are passing me, and there's going to be novices that are, in the US, I think you call it a Group C rider, and you got to pass them. So you use the group rides as a chance to learn how to get by Group C riders, or if you're still a Group C rider, just use it as a way to get better. Don't just get up, practice your body position, practice all the things that you're supposed to do at all times. And these group rides are really great for that. Obviously, I'm still learning, and I'm still practicing my body position. I'm still practicing balance, and that's all happening while I'm like, okay, let's learn how to pass these novice/Group C riders, and not deal with traffic so badly. Because first lap, there's not a lot of traffic. You're just fighting, jostling for position for the rest of the race. But lap 2, lap 3, lap 4, and so on, lap 5. Especially like later in the day, if it's a 2-hour race, if you get into hour 1.5, people are really tired, especially newer riders, and they're going to be slower. So you got to learn how to anticipate what they're doing. For example, you see them going slow, but you can see ahead because you're looking ahead that there's going to be some rocks and some technical stuff coming up. You need to then make the decision whether you're going to blast by them before the technical situation and then just hard brake into it, or if you're going to stay behind them, which I never suggest, and then try to pass them in the technical situation. I definitely always want to get by them in the easy stuff, because in my experience anyways, the newer riders, they're going to be less predictable when stuff gets technical, and you don't know if they're going to go right, left, and I don't think that they know either. They're just kind of hoping and praying that their momentum will keep them moving in a general forward direction. So you can see I'm going forward, going back, going forward, going back. I like to hang with the group. I don't want to just take off because I don't want to get lost. I don't want to be like, oh, I took the wrong turn and now I have no idea where I am. And 2, I'm doing this. I'm putting this into practice, the whole use them to learn how to get by people. So I go by, I go back. I try to stay with the group while passing, rubber banding, basically, like old school video games. Like you play on easy or play on hard, and the computer would pass you, and then you'd be like, what's going on? And you'd pass them, and it's just like that. Generally, just have fun, and yeah, you're going to be on different levels. Not everyone's on the same level. It's all good. That's why we have classes. Just take advantage of it. Learn to pass them and get through traffic, and it makes more fun for the novice riders. I know, because I get passed on group rides too a lot when I'm with expert class riders. It's great. It's awesome to be passed by people that are really good. So I like it. I think it's cool to watch and have fun, try and keep up. But also you're eventually going to be that guy who's passing people. It's a good feeling, and just go out and have fun, man. You don't need to get close to them. You don't need to hit them and yell and scream and stuff. It's not a race, but use the opportunity to learn how to pass people. Remember earlier in the ride when I was talking about when people stop and I always kind of just mess around and practice stuff while they talk? Well, here's another example of that. I wasn't just saying that, that happens sometimes. That is a constant thing for me. When I go on group rides, I'm always bebopping around. I really do think that this habit started because I don't speak the language very well, so I understand what the conversation is, but I don't understand the nuances. Whatever, you get it. So I do this constantly. Every time there's a stop, I am looking for some cool obstacle to hit. And back to rubber banding, back to passing, back to having fun. This is a pretty simple dry river. It gets really complicated here. The boulders get bigger and bigger and bigger. But this one's pretty straightforward. Pick your line, put your weight back, float the front, standard stuff. But these guys are new. One of them is very new, and the other guy is a pretty good skill level. Just getting better, So I have to say that some riders trade very much so trade bravery for technical ability, and he's definitely one of them. But the nice thing is, it's really hard to train bravery, but it's really easy to train technical ability. So he's on a good footing. The second he starts to train technical ability, he's going to be substantially a lot better. That bike's also really heavy compared to mine, and it just delivers power differently. But I love watching him ride because he's sometimes back there, he's just on the edge, and I'm like, oh man, this guy is freaking crazy. So you can see the tape on my hand there is actually holding my finger. And the other day, I think it was actually the day before this, my finger just came straight up out of place. Like I couldn't move my hand. And yeah. So anyways, I put the tape on there to try and hold my pointer finger on my right hand in. It's actually weirdly not sore. You would think it would be for coming out of socket, but no. It does concern me because I have a race this weekend, and I'll do the tape trick and hopefully it'll hold in place. So a fallen tree has appeared. I don't personally, it's not a big deal. I would just go back, go up, go around, and that's what I'm thinking. We'll just go back, go up, and go around, and eventually I do that. I turn around. I could really have done a better pivot turn there, but I'm just gonna take my sweet time here. Yeah, just noob it up. There you go. Wiggle the front wheel. Yeah, you got this. Yeah, no worries. Anyways, when you're on a group ride, you have to think about the newest, least experienced rider. And I don't believe that the newest, least experienced rider in this group could have popped up that hill. The GoPro effect makes it look really simple and easy. We probably would have been easier just to pull him up and then gone and popped up around. But they're like, no, let's go through. And I'm, all right, let's do it.
Curious how they're going to navigate this section. I'm not going to give any guidance at first. See if they go down into the hole, try and go up through here, or if they go up top to the... Está bien, está bien.
Eso, tu cuerpo, eso. ¡Ey!
Todo bien, todo bien.
¡Ey!
Tranquilo, suave, suave. Bueno.
¡Bien!
Ah,
No mames, ya no... que te moría, ¿no, perro?
there you go.
So basically at this point, the dry river section of our ride is done. We do stop and grab some snacks and discuss, hey, we're really close to the big climb of the mountain route, and we do eventually go to that. But this particular type of riding is basically done. So I recognize that the video is getting real long at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you some cool drone shots. I only got the drone out at this particular time during the day, and the thing's just so cool. The shots you get from it are incredible. So I'll go ahead and end off on those. If you like this kind of storytelling with the voiceover, you're gonna have to let me know, because the comments are not common on my log videos. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the drone videography. I don't know. Hope you enjoy the drone stuff. Oh, there goes a bunny.